We're joined now by retired Admiral John Kirby, spokesman for the White House National Security Council. Admiral, good morning to you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We heard the president say we shall respond to these latest attacks. There have been, as we just heard, more than 160 attacks against U.S. interests and its allies' interests since October 7th. The U.S. has responded. Iran and its proxies seem completely undeterred. Should we expect a more stepped-up response in response to this latest attack, which led to American casualties?
I can tell you we're reviewing our options right now about what the right next step here is to Savannah and what the response needs to look like. I mean, obviously, we're now in different territory here with 3 Americans killed and more than 30 wounded. And by the way, our thoughts and prayers are with all those affected by this violence, certainly the families of those who got the worst possible news over the weekend. But we're taking a look real hard at what the options need to be for a response. And I won't get ahead of the president, but I can tell you that he takes very, very seriously our obligation to defend ourselves, our troops, and our facilities in the region.
Many Republican lawmakers are calling for a, quote, devastating response against Iran directly, including strikes inside Iran. Is retaliation inside Iran on the table of options for this administration?
Well, I hope you can understand that I'm not going to get ahead of the president's decision space here or talk about what the options might be. He said we'll respond. We absolutely will. We'll do it at a time and in a manner of our choosing, certainly. But obviously, this requires a response.
But it's not ruled out. Would you say that?
We are not looking for a war with Iran. We're not looking to escalate the conflict in the region. There'll be a range of options that the president will take a look at. And again, I don't want to get ahead of him on this.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General C.Q. Brown, said in an interview that was taped prior to this latest attack, but that aired yesterday, he doesn't believe Iran wants war with the U.S. Is that the president's view? Has anything about that changed?
I think, look, we've, as he said, we've communicated directly to Iran what we expect here to see. Obviously, these attacks keep coming. We'll keep looking at the options. I can't speak for the Supreme Leader or what he wants or he doesn't want. I can tell you what we want. What we want is a stable, secure, prosperous Middle East, and we want these attacks to stop. That means we've got options here ahead of us, and we're going to have to work our way through that.
How do you calibrate a response to Iran that is decisive and convincing and deterring, but that also does not draw the U.S. into this conflict even more deeply?
That's what national security leadership at this level really requires, Savannah. It's how do you look after your interest in the region? And clearly, we don't have an interest in some broader regional conflict or going to war in the Middle East again. And those are the tough decisions that a commander-in-chief has to make, certainly in this time, in this place. And he'll do that. He's working his way through what the right options need to look like.
Let's talk about Israel and Gaza. The CIA director has been meeting with all the relevant parties, trying to get a deal that would be call for the return of hostages in exchange for a lengthier ceasefire. You've said, I believe, that thing is imminent, but has there been significant progress on a deal? Are we closer than we've been before?
I would tell you that these discussions have been constructive. I've described them as sober and serious, certainly that. But I think it's fair to say they've been constructive. We've been very actively engaged with Qatar, with Egypt, with Israel. And I think we've made some progress here. I want to be careful. I don't want to come across as too sanguine here. I don't think we have a deal that's imminently about to happen or that we can announce. But I do think we have made some progress here. And if we can get this in place, a more extended humanitarian pause than what we saw in November, we can actually get all the hostages out. We can get or not all, but a lot more aid in, and we can get the violence down there, which can have a dramatic impact on the civilian casualties. So there's an awful lot of promise here, but I'll tell you, there's also an awful lot of discussion and diplomatic work that still has to be done.
And finally, the U.S. has suspended aid momentarily to the UN relief agency UNRWA in Gaza after accusations that members of the UN agency were connected to Hamas and in one case participated in the October 7th attack on Israel. What is the proper response if these allegations are verified? And what does that mean in terms of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza as well, as this is the main agency administrating aid there?
Yeah, the UN Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, as it's called colloquially, they have been doing a lot of amazing work on the ground in Gaza, literally helping save thousands of lives. Now, they're taking this seriously. They brought the information to us, by the way. They let us know that they had this report of about a dozen employees who were somehow involved in October 7th. They're taking this very, very seriously. They've called for an investigation, and they've made it clear that they're going to hold anybody appropriately accountable, to include criminal prosecutions. I don't want to get ahead of that investigation or that process. You're right, Savannah. We suspended our funding pending the results of that investigation. Let's see where it goes, and then we'll make the appropriate policy decisions going forward. But I do think it's important to remember that UNRWA does important work across the region, certainly in Gaza. They have helped save thousands of lives, and we shouldn't impugn the good work of a whole agency because of the terrible allegations lobbied against just a small number of their employees.
Certainly not, but does that create a trust issue and a credibility issue there?
Well, it could very well, depending on what the investigation finds and what UNRWA does about the investigation results. So I think, we have decision points that we're going to have to make going forward here, but I don't want to get ahead of the investigation and what it's going to find.
Admiral Kirby, glad to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.